Perfect, perfect, perfect.
Hello everyone, it's Miranda and Mrs. Thinking of a Master Plan, and I am here with another credit repair tip. And if you see me looking over, I'm looking at my notes and looking at our book, Credit Secrets, and that is by Scott and Allison Hilton. So this video is well overdue because I had very mixed feelings. I kind of gave up. I think I was defeated before I really even started, but you know what? There is a young lady or gentleman that is one of my subscribers, and this information really has helped this person. So for me, if I'm able to help just one person, then I've done my job. So I am re-implementing the credit tips again. Now, I'm going to give a fourth tip because I did three. I started in July. So I did July, and then I think I did one in August, and I haven't done one since September. So I really, or maybe I did June, July, and August, and I owe her September, October, November. Impossible for me to do all those tips. But what I can do is give you the next tip. And then at the beginning of the year in January, I'm going to start over again because I kind of even stopped myself, which is crazy because, as you guys know, like, I have a budget, I follow a budget, I talk about it every week with my meal planning. And so I wanted to make sure that I'm definitely not dropping the ball on that piece. And if it's something that I can do or help someone with, then I want to do that. So let's do a really quick recap. So our tip number one was about updating incorrect information on your credit report. And incorrect information could be variations of your name. So if your last name is first and your middle name and your first name, you want to get that changed around. So instead of, Smith John Doe, it needs to be John Doe Smith. So in the first video, and I will link it below here, we talked about what you needed to do to update incorrect information on your credit report. And that actually would give you gains of about up to 12 points on your credit report. So we know with credit reports, every point counts. All points count, okay? All right. So, and I also gave you information of where to get this information corrected. So you would definitely need to either mail or fax one of the three credit bureaus, really all of them who's reporting your information incorrect. Based on the information that I've researched, it says that your chances of getting inaccurate accounts based on the fact that your name and address is incorrect are pretty high. So I'm like, okay, bring it on, bring it on, bring it on. All right, tip two was talking about inquiry, or the different type of inquiry removal letters. So of course, we know that if you get your credit ran, then you decrease your credit scores. So I talked about the impacts at what intervals from 6 months to a year to 2 years and what that looks like, and even telling you how you could get those removed, okay? Tip three was talking about your credit card usage, and I did a deep dive into what the FICO system was. And also, the takeaway point from that video was we really need to keep our credit card usage 30% or below. So for instance, if you had a $1,000 limit, then you certainly would want to not charge over $300 on that credit card in order for it not to negatively impact your credit score. So the assignment I gave you guys was to assess your available credit on all credit scores and then put together a plan to get you below the 30% on that particular credit card. So I told about a method that my husband and I were using called the 100-150 method, where 1 week we pay 150 on a debt and then the next week we pay 100 on the debt. So the 100-150. Something we kind of made up, something we did, and it worked well. We had an unexpected expense, so we had to stop that probably, I'm going to say, a month and a half, 2 months ago. But it will resume again in January, and I will tell you at the beginning of January when we talk credit, something else that we're considering doing as well that will also make an impact. Okay, so those were the 3 tips that we had previously. Before I go any further with the next tip, I want to say, guys, if you appreciate this video or if you learned anything from this video, I really would appreciate that thumbs up. It would mean a lot to me. In addition, any questions that you have below, even if I don't know the answer to that question, as I've told you guys before, I'm just an amateur. I am not certified in any financial services. I purchased this book and I have a desire to have a credit score as close to 800 as I can get. That's my goal. So make sure that you're commenting below, asking me any questions that you want to. And on top of that, to make sure that you are actually subscribing to my channel. If you double tap, that will give you notifications anytime that I upload new content. Okay, so jumping back into the credit tips. So the schedule for the credit tips will be 30 days. And the reason why 30 days is our target for credit tips is because most of the activities that we have or takeaways that we have are to take 30 days. So the first thing that I would like you guys to do is go back and review the other 3 videos and start with the first thing, which is to pull your actual credit reports, find out what's on there, work on getting the inaccurate information in your date of birth, your address, and your names corrected. And so today is December 7th. So let's say that we will have the January video uploaded by January the 10th. And in January the 10th, I will do the same thing. I'm starting all over again. And I hope you guys take this journey with me for 2019. Okay, so now with that being said, that means that some of our tips may get a little repetitive because I am starting over. But for the subscriber that has gotten further, if you want to send me an email, and my email address is mrsthinkingofamasterplan@gmail.com, I will be happy to keep you on your path of where you were with the tips. For everybody else, I'm starting over because I need to hold myself accountable and I need to start over in order to be accountable. Haven't been. And that's just facts. And I don't mind being honest with you guys because what reason do I have to lie? Like, let's tell the truth here. Okay. So, the thing that we're talking about right now is really letting you know your rights as a consumer. So, there are several laws that are on our sides as we go through this credit repair or credit fighting or credit score battle. So one is the Fair Debt Collection Practices Act, and there's actually a document that you can actually read it. It's a bunch of legal jargon, so I'll tell you the pieces that are pertinent to what we're doing. So this document explains the rules and laws that collection agencies are required to abide by. So our favorite part, and it's called the FDCPA, is section 807, paragraph 8, false or misleading misrepresentations. And then paragraph 8 says communicating or threatening to communicate to any person credit information which is known or which should be known to be false, including failure to communicate that a disputed debt is disputed. So if you dispute a debt, that information should be displayed on your credit report. So we like that one. Okay? And I can, the second one will be the Fair Credit Reporting Act. So that one's known as FCRA. And the interesting thing about the FCRA that falls under it, because I work in HR and talent acquisition is my specialty. And for like the background check reporting piece, those governances fall under the FCRA. So the Fair Credit Reporting Act is a document that explains the rules and laws that credit bureaus and creditors / banks have to abide by. So we will refer to the FCRA or the Fair Credit Reporting Act when we have any correspondence with a creditor or bank and the credit bureaus. Our favorite part of the FCRA is Section 623A3. This law is for creditors/banks, and it reads responsibilities of furnishers of information to consumer reporting agencies. Duty to provide a notice of dispute. Once again, they must let everyone know that you're disputing a claim. If the completeness of accuracy of any of the information furnished by any person to any consumer reporting agency is disputed to such person by a consumer, the person may not furnish the information to any consumer reporting agency without notice that such information is disputed by the consumer. So I can also include the link for the entire FCRA for you as well. So additional laws to consider when it comes to errors on your credit report, because some of these things will organically happen and some of it will be a battle. So I'm preparing you for battle mode. I am giving you the blueprint, okay, our war plan, if you will, to these credit issues. So number 3 is the Fair Credit Billing Act, known as FCBA. For disputes about billing errors, for example, charges that the wrong date or amount, any mathematical errors, failure to post the payment that you made, and other credits such as returns, failure to send bills to your current address, provided the creditor receives your change of address in writing at least 20 days before the billing period ends. We like that. Charges for which you ask an explanation or written proof of purchase along with the claimed error or request for clarification. So I will also post that information for your review. The next one is Metro 2 compliance. Metro 2 compliance standardizes the information reported to all 3 credit bureaus so that furnishers of credit information to bureaus must use the proper formatting in a form that contains 67 fields. So how the credit bureaus report is standardized. It's the same across the board. So as an example, there is a field called 17A, which on your credit report would equal the section that says account status. If you really want a data furnisher to be scared of you as an informed consumer, you may reference Metro 2 when a field is missing or being reported incorrectly and really blow their minds. I'm all about blowing somebody's mind. So that one is Metro 2 compliance. There is no acronym for that one, but there is a link. It'll be below. All right. And then it says, and you can see where the credit bureaus settle with the Attorney General of New York, agreeing to the terms of Metro 2. So all the credit bureaus agreed to follow the rules and standards laid out in Metro 2. Okay. And it says that some of this information may sound totally confusing to you right now, which it even sounds confusing to me. But this book will let us know exactly what we need to do and what steps we need to take. So when you're dealing with creditors or a collection agency, they do have the right to send you letters and call you once a day. But harassing you, however, is something different. They can't call you all hours of the night, calling you at work, or threatening you, which is a legal action, is illegal, okay? Collection agencies may not use abusive language to you or be disrespectful. Call around to your family members. They can't do that. A close friend disclosing your business or your debts to them, because that is also against the law. So if any of your creditors are currently calling you and engaging in any of the unlawful acts I just mentioned or illegal debt collecting practices, then you have the right to report them to your Attorney General, the Better Business Bureau, and the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau. In addition, you may be awarded damages should you choose to file a small claims lawsuit against them. Ain't nobody got time to be filing no small claims dispute. But according to what I'm reading in this book and these letters, it may be a good thing to suggest that you're going to do these things. Okay. So the next tip is it's called Attack and Conquer, and we're finally at chapter 2 of the book, and it's getting inaccurate, incomplete, unfair, and unverifiable information removed. So this completes our credit tip number 4. And it's really an extension of understanding the laws when it comes to, or when it pertains to dealing with creditors, collection agencies, and credit bureaus. So the 4 organizations. So the 4 laws that are on our side when we're dealing with either a creditor, a collection agency, or a credit bureau should be the Fair Debt Collection Practices Act, FDCPA, okay, and the Fair Credit Reporting Act, FCRA. So the first one, the Fair Debt Collection Practices Act, is for debt collectors. Number 2, the Fair Credit Reporting Act is for credit bureaus, creditors, and banks. The Fair Credit Billing Act is FCBA, and this is for anyone that's reporting anything on your credit, such as the wrong date, billing errors, so creditors right here. And then the Metro 2 compliance, which standardizes the information housed in a credit report. So, and it also talks about dealing with creditors and knowing your rights. They cannot be abusive, verbally abusive to you, using negative language. They cannot disclose any of your debt information to your close family or friends, or they cannot threaten you. And if they do, that is illegal, and you have the right to report them to your Attorney General of your state, the Better Business Bureau, and the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau. Okay, guys, well, I'm back with my credit tip. And just let me know what you think. Let me know if you have any questions. And remember our next date to connect. Remember your homework. Pull your credit reports. View video number 1. It's quite lengthy, but the tip is displayed on the bottom of where you can go. It's time stamped, and you can just go right there to the tip and just get the tip and not watch the whole video, so that you know what to do to pull your credit report. And we're going to start working on updating inaccurate addresses and information on all 3 credit bureaus. Remember, the main ones are TransUnion, Experian, and Equifax. Okay, guys, well, let's get those credit scores right. Let's correct that information. And before you leave, 3 things. Give me the thumbs up. Comment below if you have any questions or concerns. And then make sure that you double tap the subscribe button so that you, number 1, are subscribed to my channel. And number 2, you are notified when any additional content is uploaded. So our next date is going to be January the 8th. I'll talk to you soon. Ciao, Bella.
Perfect. Perfect.